The release of Avowed is here, but it is not without its controversy. Now, it would be an understatement to say that this title has a bit of a bad history. When it was first announced in July of 2020 at the Xbox Game Showcase, excitement was immediately there. While there was little known about the game at the time, just the Obsidian logo alone was enough to pull hype. However, the years that followed were sadly not too kind to this title. When you announce a game this early, you always run the risk of people forgetting and moving on, and sadly that is exactly what happened here. Now, in all honesty, people forgetting about this game might have been the best thing that could have happened to Avowed at the time. Unfortunately, that is not how life works, and people were very quickly reminded of this impending release, and that is all thanks to a man by the name of Matt Hansen, who works as an art director for the day. Now, a while ago, he got into an online spat with none other than Elon Musk over Pronouns and some of the hiring practices at the studio. As per that Place, the controversy started when Musk reposted former World of Warcraft team lead Mark Kern, aka Grum's, comments on Avowed's pronoun selection feature. He said on Twitter, "I'm drawing the line on rejecting any game that has pronouns in it, and you grammar Nazis know what I mean. Stop being stupid. I don't care if the game is good. A message must be sent. Pronouns promote the woke game virus, and gamers must send a clear message." Now, Musk reposted this by adding, "Having pronouns in a fantasy video game is utterly unacceptable." Hansen pounced on this, attacking Musk in trying to make it seem as though this whole thing has been a trap for the Tesla boss all along. "I wanted so badly to make him mad with my game, and I can't believe it actually worked," Hansen said on his Blue Sky account, which you can only see if you're logged into the service. "Just wait until you see the default, you sad little shit. It's honestly deeply surreal to have the world's richest boy whine about something I'm making," he said, basking in the moment. "I am, quite frankly, Diddy. I cannot think of a single person in the world that I would rather irritate." Now, unfortunately, when you speak like this, people will always be put off with your game. There is no reason for you to pick a fight on Twitter, even if you do feel that you are in the right. Whether people want to admit it or not, having pronouns in a video game is still a hotly contested subject. It doesn't matter if you think you are right or you are wrong, that is just where things are at. Bragging on Twitter about how you include these things in the game just to trigger people will do nothing but divide more fans. When you say that you include these things to irritate people and bait people, and being those people turn around and get irritated, you can't then just call all of them bigots. If you want people to treat pronouns normally, you are going to need to act normally yourself when you include them in your game. That goes for all types of social issues. When you include these things and then make all of the promotional material about it, you will always just have people that is going to push back. Have you ever wondered why titles like Baldur's Gate and Hogwarts Legacy is not considered DEI by most of the gaming fans, despite them including a bunch of these things in their titles? The answer is very simple. They include it, they create a great story, and they simply move on. They don't harp on it, they don't brag about it on Twitter, they don't tell everybody how stunning and brave they are for including it, and they don't allow the entire game to just revolve around that specific topic. They just focus on the story and they create a great game. Now, when you are normal about these things, people will sometimes still disagree with you, but for the most part, they will at least respect your right to include include whatever you want in the game, many people might just say, look, this game is not for me, and then they will move on. The problem is some of these people, they sit on their high horses, they feed it all of these giant sugar cubes, acting all smug while twirling their wine glasses, and then they will scold you and ask you questions like, well, why do you care? Tell me why it matters. And even if you are right, then it doesn't matter, which obviously it does to many, including the people who ask these questions, because they would not be fighting so hard to include it if it did not matter at the end of the day. That is just not how people feed. If you want people to move over to your side, scolding them and talking down to them is just not going to do anything to move people on their position. I've always been a story-first type of person. As long as I enjoy the game, I'm willing to look past many things. I've made it no secret that I do not care if they include social issues in dance. I do not care if there is a welcoming space for a gay person or an LGBTQ+ person. Most people don't. I just don't like all of the smug assholes who are scolding me. I do not like people who use these issues to simply troll someone online that they disagree with. There are people who simply don't like it, and we are going to have to respect their feelings as well. And I'm not on the fence about this, but when I look to the things on the other side, I do have to recognize that these people are just that, people, and we will have to listen to them and understand where they're coming from. There is no liberal gamer or conservative gamer or gay gamer or Jewish gamer. There is just gamers. That is the beauty of gaming. It breaks down those invisible borders, and many game journalists and all of the woke scolds are really working hard to try and divide people. Now, I will admit that that was a long and unnecessary rant, so let's just get back to the main story. Avowed has decided to backtrack on all of the pronouns issued, and they've decided to no longer make pronouns in their game mandatory. That be that part place they say Avowed is a highly anticipated first-person fantasy RPG from Obsidian Entertainment, and it is currently out in early release, and people have already discovered a major concession concerning the pronouns feature. Despite months of controversy and bold rhetoric from the art director Matt Hansen, it is now possible to disable the pronouns display in the Dane settings. This discovery was first reported on Edge by former World of Warcraft team lead Mark Kern, also known as Gramps. He said, "We were again Avowed forced to add options to disable pronouns in the game. Whatever Matt Hansen was threatening with the default and putting wokeness in the game, he's soundly been rebuked. He hasn't posted on social media in 2 months. Now, it is very obvious that Obsidian did decide that it was not worth it to pick these type of fights on Twitter. It simply never is. At the end of the day, Obsidian has the right to create whatever game they want. However, if you want stands to engage with the product that you put out, you will have to stop and listen to them. At least to some degree, they have managed to do just that.